Hi, I'm Corey Staples, COO and co-founder of Switch, an audio-based speed dating app prioritizing real-time conversations first. We're really bringing dating back into dating.
Hey there, it's Heaven. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining me. On this channel, I talk about all things my MBA journey, my entrepreneurship journey, and a little bit of content creation. I talk about entrepreneurship and my pursuit down this path toward figuring out what kind of business am I going to found that will lead me toward financial freedom. I've been doing a lot of researching, a lot of reading, and listening to podcasts, but it occurred to me I actually have a friend who is an entrepreneur, a certified tech baddie, and I figured let's have a conversation and talk a little bit about her experience with her company, and I can gain some insights and I can share them with you all as well. Corey.
Hi, Heaven. You're too kind.
I'm so excited that we're doing this.
Me too. I don't know about certified, but I mean, I'm here and I'm
It's
in
on
tech.
It's on
so.
LinkedIn. It's on LinkedIn.
It's on LinkedIn, so that makes it real.
It's legit. Well, I have attended one of your Switch pitch Zoom calls in the past when you were raising money, trying to get the word out, when you were first getting off the ground. But the people on the other side of this screen may not know what Switch is. So can you give us a little bit of your elevator pitch? What is Switch?
Yeah, Switch is a live audio-based speed dating app prioritizing real-time conversations first. So what that means is we're really just putting the conversation back on the forefront of dating, because dating apps right now, they're playing with superficiality, right? I like to say it's a glorified game of hot or not. We're just swiping through pictures. Right. You're just swiping through pictures. Like half the time doesn't even lead to a real conversation. You're just stuck at the messaging tab. It's an ego game. So we're really taking the ego out of it, and we're having our users have that conversation on the front end, and we like to say that we're reversing the current online dating model. We're putting the matching and being able to see someone's full profile after you have a full-time conversation, but it's like actually talking on the phone, Let's actually get some conversational skills back into dating and back into just society, because I feel like we're just so stuck behind our phones.
We're
isolated. We're isolated. So really just trying to bring kind of that community and what it's like to date in person in an app.
We were just doing the testing the other day, and I was sitting in the car dealership, I think I told you, and I was kind of just killing time. And I was actually surprised at how cool and interactive the audio feature was, because this is not the first iteration of Switch. We've done this before, but when I was doing it with you, I was like, I understand the concept a little bit more, because it requires a level of intention to actually get to a speed date with a person. Like, yes, there's the audio introduction on the profiles when you're going through people, but to actually get to a speed date, you're not going to accidentally just do that.
No.
So it shows a level of intention that we just don't have in the current dating app space, and I think that's really what you guys are innovating on.
No, exactly. I'm glad that you picked up on the intentionality of it. It's just because that's kind of our whole brand right now is we want people to be able to date intentionally, and right now we feel like that's falling off.
Let's go back a little bit. When you told me about Switch, I was pregnant. Okay, Kobe's about to be 4.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with this idea, and how did you get it validated? Because certainly people could say, well, why would you make a dating app?
Yeah, so actually my business partner at the time, Kiki Nancy, she was, we were just reconnecting because we were both trying to get back into the broadcasting space, and we were both already really big on communication, and so we really connected with that. I'd known her since high school. When she had come to me with some ideas, she was just like, hey, I have a few app ideas, I was looking it up, we could get one developed in 3 months and we gonna be rich. And I'm like, okay, why don't more people do this? Sign me up. I had some extra free time in my tech job, and I was working remotely, and I just kept telling her, especially having been a student athlete, I'm so used to all my hours being accounted for. I'm so much time in the day, I could be doing something else. So when she had this idea, she was just like, it's an audio based, it's a speed dating app, it would be a speed dating app, and I'm like, what would that look like? And so I was like, this is really interesting, and we really incubated 3 different ideas and looked at all of them, started docs for them. We were like, this dating app can really be something. I feel like it really resonated with me, because I was on dating apps at the time as well, and I completely understood the frustration of what why she even came up with it. She was on Clubhouse, very prevalent back in the day.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she just I was able to meet so many different people during the Clubhouse era. Why isn't that kind of concept brought into dating as well? And the next day I called her up and when are we really getting started on this? Let's make it shake. So from there we had no idea what we were doing. It's so funny. We still don't actually, but we were just on our Google Docs, and then a week later we had our LLC, and 2 weeks after that, I found us a development firm up in Greenville, South Carolina to help prototype it. We had an idea of what we wanted the screens to look like, but we went through something called like a solutions lab with this development firm, and they really helped us flesh out what we thought we wanted. So it was a 12-hour meeting with their developers, their designers, helping us really flesh out everything. And I think they immediately were like, this is a brilliant idea, the development firm themselves. And I feel like that validated it. And from there, we were able to take that and raise with the prototype.
Having heard you say all of that, you're talking about incubation and prototyping and looking for development firms, all this. You sound like a consummate professional and an expert in developing this app. Like, you may not be a gajillionaire, but you've gone through the steps in the process. Did you all have experience?
Absolutely no experience. And that's why to this day, Kiki and I just laugh like, how in the world did we actually get here? But it's been a blessing. I am a person that likes to just dive in, and even though I have no idea where it may take me, I have no problem kind of like with stepping outside of my comfort zone in that way and pursuing something that's just like,
That's what's the worst that could happen.
what's the worst that can happen, right? I'm still working.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't completely abandon everything and jump ship. Really, we've just been blessed with mentorship. I can't say that enough. Just mentorship and community, so many people standing behind us and believing in the idea and believing in who we are as people, because a lot of founders and a lot of advisors, they'll say, and mentors, they're like, you know, investors, they're not investing in your business all the time. They're investing in you. And so
a lot of people have ideas. I mean,
Exactly.
Ideas are a dime a dozen. You can go ask ChatGPT for an idea, but if you don't have the execution, the vision, the decisive leadership, you know, the creativity, the solutions-oriented, like problem-solving capabilities.
you could talk about doing something all day long.
Hello.
You can talk about it, but it's like really putting towards that work. That's what I'm calling it. Like, when are we going to start on this?
Yeah.
What was the worst that could happen? You know, 4 years later, and
4 years later.
4 years later is crazy. It's now on the iOS App Store. Download My Switch app, so you'll find it in the App Store as Switch Dating app. And yeah, find me on there. I've been speed dating with everyone, trying to welcome everyone. I welcome
Yes,
Tevin.
we had a speed date. We matched.
Yes, we did match. It was a match. You guys can shake your phone, report any bugs, because we want to grow with you all. You know, we're brand new. We want the users to feel seen, and we want them to feel like this is an app for them to cultivate real relationships. So let's grow this thing together.
So you mentioned mentorship as a critical part of what's helped you and your business partner Kiki drive this forward. You're not in it on your own. Can you talk about some of the mentorship experiences you have? I know you're a part of an accelerator, which is a big deal. Like, tell me a little bit about that.
The mentorship aspect of Techstars is absolutely why it is valuable as it is. We were blessed with 6 more mentors on top of what we already had in Rick. And yeah, and the mentorship interviewing for the Techstars. So once you're accepted, we do like this speed dating almost of.
That's very meta.
Yeah,
Speed
exactly.
dating on the speed dating.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. We were like, we need to bring that to actual Switch, but we were speed dating hundreds of different mentors in the Techstars universe, and we would get matched with who our program director felt would be our best matches for what we needed in our business at the time. And so these mentors are really specifically curated for our needs. For, you know, we're non-technical founders, right? And so us being non-technical, we know that we're going to have to fill in the gaps with the leadership on our team and you know, our board down the line. And so having been non-technical, Kiki and I knew there was so much that we needed to learn, but because, like I said, these investors, they're not necessarily always investing in the business or in your background and in tech. It's just you as a person. What is your track record? Have you been able to execute? You know, us being 2 student athletes actually has helped us more than
Really?
Tremendously.
Tell me more about that.
So interesting. Our mentors are always like, when you're in a call with an investor or trying to raise money, make sure you guys mention that you're both student athletes. People, investors want to see that because they feel like that just takes another level of commitment from a person. That everyone can go through college and also balance that and being an athlete. There's so much with your character that different investors can learn from just the fact that you guys are student athlete. They like to see that drive, that hustle, because they're putting their money behind someone that they want to succeed, obviously, but they really feel like have the tools to do that. That technical experience, we didn't really let that be a deterrent or inhibit how we raise, and actually I think it's helped us. You know, we come in, you know, we don't know what we're doing. We're very transparent and open with our investors. And so going into Techstars and that accelerator, it was just a blessing. It came at the most perfect time. Like, it was just, the timing was everything. And so it ended back in October of 2024, and from there we still meet with our mentors that we got from the program weekly, have a town hall meeting with them, and they just help us with the marketing side of things, obviously the technical side of things, and they helped us really iterate on that MVP that's now in the App Store. Didn't know that it was so expensive to build an app. We had no idea. We opened up a crowdfunding raise. This actually came post our first angel investment. That was with a founder himself who saw the vision.
He wrote you like a nice check.
Yeah, and I wrote us a nice little check to get things started with his development firm at the time. And so we were able to get our first MVP out and coded.
And what year was this?
This year was 2022.
We're talking 2 years into COVID.
2 years into COVID.
Okay, people are figuring out their life, their career. You're getting money basically dropped in your lap.
Yeah,
I mean, you're doing the work.
Right. No.
But people are saying, I care about what you're doing. I see it in you. We believe in you. We're gonna give you money. Like, that's huge to put into context.
Incredibly
really
validating. And I don't even think we knew how huge that was at the time, especially because we're fundraising now, and it kind of does feel like it just fell from the sky in a way of like, we our development firm at the time, we kind of presented the idea to them and they brought it to the investor. They're just like, hey, we want you to get in front of this person. We feel like he would really get behind your idea. And we just sat there, and all we did, it was like a 10-minute, 15-minute showing them the app and the prototype at the time. Just showing them the prototype and explaining the vision, and next thing you know, he's hitting us up like, hey, how can I and where can I invest? I want to pour some money into this. So that was so validating. I feel like that was the first time Kiki and I were like, okay, we have an actual business that we can build. For sure. We have money that we can raise. We have revenue that we can generate from this. From there, we did, I would say, probably every type of fundraising you could do. So crowdfunding, for people that don't know what that is, you're able to go on a public platform. You have to get approved, and
like Kickstarter.
But with Kickstarter, that's just kind of, there's no actual investment there.
Okay.
It's almost like GoFundMe, Kickstarter.
Okay.
These platforms actually allow people to get some type of stake, some
in the
type
business.
of,
so when you go public, or when you get some equity, and they can get like some,
depending on the terms, if it's a convertible note, if it's direct equity, people, your friends, your family, your loved ones, your support system, they can also actually invest in the product at the terms that you kind of spell out. So we were able to raise $72,000 from there on our crowdfunding. Yeah, we were grinding for that $72,000. Every Sunday we would host a call and go through all the different prototype screens and kind of just explain Switch to all our friends and family, anyone who would listen.
I remember being so impressed when you guys did your pitch. And then there was one, I think it was Startup Runway, when you guys were on that competition.
Yeah.
I remember being so, because like, you're my friend, and like, you're a very, okay, y'all don't know this, but she's a very like funny, goofy, like happy-go-lucky type of person. So when I'm seeing Corey on these Zoom calls, like business,
you gotta know when to turn it on.
Woman, I'm like, I don't even know who this is. I mean, I never doubted you. I've never seen that side. Like,
that's so funny.
It just goes to show, like, you are working, like you are getting it done, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
How are you thinking about AI as you're thinking about the future of Switch? Are there currently any AI features? Like, do you see that as something worth integrating? Like, help me understand how you're thinking about AI.
I mean, AI is so prevalent, obviously, in so many different applications. It's something that we have to think about in terms of keeping up with everybody else and different things that are getting innovated. And so if you want to raise fundraising, you better have some type of AI vision, right? Some type of future planning for AI. So we don't currently have anything embedded in the app where it is AI driven. We do have an algorithm, obviously, that's what's matching people on the timeline. But our AI plans are to really help people intentionally date better. We have something, I think it's going to be a really cool feature that we're going to iterate on probably in the next year or so when we can get our next round of fundraising off the ground. But it's just going to help people, guide them through the experience, a way for you to maybe help talk through the conversations, or a lot of
better recommendations.
Exactly. And another feature we're having rolling out would be that it's going to be a randomized feature within the speed dating. And so this AI would essentially help understand and help you understand who you need to be speaking with, right? It's going to be able to read the octave of your voice, and when who are you most excited to talk about, or what conversation drivers. So it's a gamified experience. You have conversation drivers, and which gamified conversation drivers are you most excited about when you talk to them?
And it'll be able to like judge that based on the octave of your voice, like the frequency that you selected, or
exactly,
maybe even like the time of day that you use the app.
Exactly, and find you the best match. Like, hey, you're scrolling through your timeline, it's like you should be talking to this person.
You guys, make sure when you download Switch, if you see some features in there that you're like, oh, this could be cool for AI, drop it in the comments and I'll make sure I share it with Corey, okay? The way you describe AI, it sounds like it would really help people to connect better. You've been doing something alongside as you're developing Switch, these speed dating events. Let's talk about that.
This has been so cool, really, to see the community in person of people. But we're right now targeting Atlanta, Georgia as our target audience, as far as just where we're piloting kind of these speed dating events where we hope to expand. But it was at first just like a marketing tactic for us, just to help kind of with the brand awareness side of things. And it's really turned into a movement. It's just been so amazing to see all the different people that are so ready to intentionally date. And it shows and it validates the fact that what we're doing, like, we're absolutely on the right track. And we sold out on the women's tickets in literally a day. The wait list was over 150 women, and it does hurt that we can't approve all of them because we have a capacity that we
and you want to make sure the ratio is right.
Exactly. That's so important, and that's one thing that we learned about a lot of different speed dating events. A lot of people complain about the ratio being off because we are so intentional about our brand. We don't want to inhibit that in any way, so we make sure that it is an equal ratio. Everyone has a good time. We're very intentional about the age ranges that we're approving, just to make sure everything's balanced.
Who is your target core audience right now?
Right now, we our target audience is that 25 to 35 demographic, young professionals, right, in Atlanta, just
early career, developing career.
Yeah, and the reason we say that is just because we feel like that is the demographic that is wanting to intentionally date. They're ready to settle down. They've seen the disaster that is dating apps right now. They're sick of them, absolutely, just fatigued with dating apps, and they want a new experience. And
so Corey, I just love that we even got to sit down and have this conversation. Like, I have like a fire burning inside me, like, get up and go get after it now. What would you say to people who are watching this or heard your story or learned about Switch and who are like second guessing, questioning, doubting an idea that they have or something they want to pursue? Like, what would you tell an aspiring entrepreneur out there based on your experience?
I would say don't let those doubts stifle any type of progress or any type of movement. You just have to get started. The first step is just do something every day. I know I've spoken to you about it. Just every day, research something about whatever idea you're having, and do anything just one step at a time. You're not gonna build Rome wasn't built in London. It really wasn't. And I know it's so cliche, but just do a little thing every single day towards that dream, towards that business. And one thing that I've learned, and I feel like it's helped me, a lot of people don't know what they're talking about.
They just seem
they
like
just
it.
Seem
or
like
we just
it.
Assume that they do because they just showed up.
Because they're successful.
And you have to just start showing up for yourself.
You just have to show up for yourself. A lot of people that you see are successful, it's just because they just showed up, and every day they moved an inch towards what they wanted to do. It's not because they had all of this experience and background to do so, and all this money poured
and people
into
thought
them.
they were crazy or thought they were like wasting their time.
Absolutely.
And then next thing you know,
if people are just like, yeah, that sounds great, and no one actually doubts it, then your dream isn't big enough. If those doubters, like, it's perfect, and I know I'm on the right track.
So they were right when they said if you ain't got no haters, you ain't.
Hello, that's what they said.
That's a real thing.
I wouldn't know. I don't know. I'm all love.
No,
I'm all about love and
connection.
So
as we wrap up, I want to hear, what is the future of Switch? What can people, once they go and follow you on Instagram and join the Switch app, what can they expect to see coming next?
We're actually rolling out 3 more events in the summer.
Okay.
So we're getting that off the ground. We do have our MVP out. So like I did mention, we're trying to roll out different features and grow with you all. So the future looks like building that community in app. It looks like you, your friends, your cousins, anybody who is trying to find love, to get on the app and really tell us what you like, what you don't like, so we can make this thing something that is wilder than all of our imaginations. I would also say that right now we're in that fundraising round again, and we're trying to close out a pre-seed, so it's looking like more grants, more pitch competitions. You might see us hopefully in a couple of competitions here soon. But if you want to invest and you have, you know, a check you want to write, we will never say no to that. But you can hit me up on LinkedIn. My name's Corey Staples, CoreyStaples. You can also email me, Corey@myswitchapp.com. I would love to chat and also just hear your ideas and your feedback for Switch and what you think about it.
Corey, thank you so much for sitting down doing this with me. I'm so excited. This is so
This
fun.
is amazing. I'm honored, y'all. Heaven's the best.
Okay,
She's the
stop.
best of the best.
Well, thank y'all so much for watching this video. I'm so glad you got to meet my friend in line, Sister Corey, Tech Baddie app founder. Don't forget, go download Switch. If you want to invest in Switch, I'm going to put her information in the description below. If you have any feature ideas or any questions, if you want to learn more about Switch and maybe I should bring her back, let me know that too. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.